Okay, what I'm going to do now is just get it running. So I've got something to look at while I'm yabbering on. Okay, right. Okay. What it is this is just a simple bouncing ball program. It's this function here, function f. It's pretty easy to understand, so I'm not going to really go through it very much. Okay, so yeah, what I needed, because I use Pygame to make videos rather than games, I don't actually have a game loop, and one of the things you do with game loops is that you include an event handler, this little thing here. So what was happening, because I wasn't handling events, I think it was sort of jamming up. Well, I'm not honestly sure what, some kind of event queue or something, and they were just piling up and not getting handled, and it was slowing the computer down, and I was getting lag, and causing me all sorts of problems with the video capture software. So basically what I needed was a way every, I don't know, 1/10 of a second or so to run an event handling routine, and I figured I'd try to use threading in order to do that. And anyway, this is what it is. Right, okay. I'm by no means an expert in threading, so, and it's a while since I've looked at this program, to be honest. Let's have a look. Okay. Well, first of all, I've got my Pygame in it outside of the function, because I'm using the Pygame event handler in my main function. So I actually need to build my main function to be my main thread, or whatever you want to call it, to be able to see the Pygame module, whatever it is. Pygame, it needs to be initialized in the main routine anyway, so it can actually work, because I'm using like Pygame event. Right. Okay. Whatever rain. Okay. Let's. Right. So first thing, screen. I've initialized the screen, and this is the Pygame screen that I've initialized. Right. I've made the threading target this function here, the bouncing ball program, which kind of represents any kind of program that I might want to write, you know, for making a video or anything. Right, okay. Now, it's set this thread as a daemon thread. Now, all that really means is that when the program stops running, the thread will stop run. This thread will stop running. Because if it wasn't set to a daemon thread, what would happen is that the main program would come to the end, it'd quit, and this would keep running. But what I want it to do, you actually have to set it, make it into a daemon thread, so that it knows to shut down when the rest of the program shuts down, or when the main program shuts down. Right. So basically, t start. Well, I think you call this the constructor. T equals threading, thread target equals f. That's a constructor. You've made an object called t, which is the thread, which basically is this function. T is one of the to be honest, I'm not great with oriented programming, which is why I decided to learn Python in the first place, to try and get me a bit familiar with it. But right, okay, T is one of the is it methods? Call them methods? Yeah. Anyway, basically, this set daemon is one of the methods that sets this object as to true. Basically, makes it into a daemon thread, and this method, I believe, just starts the thread off. And if you look, this thread it'll just go on forever. It's just a while true loop, and it'll just keep on going. Once it's initialized its very start point, it'll just keep repeating itself forever. So just keep bouncing forever, basically, until the program ends. In which case it'll end the thread because it's a daemon. Running true. Right. Okay. This is for my Pygame event handler, so that when it's set to false, it'll go to the end of the program and quit. So it's basically looking for an event type, Pygame quit, which is basically just clicking on the X up in the top right hand corner of the window, and that'll set running to equal false, and so that if it's actually clicked, then once it gets back to the while running, it'll say, well, it's false, so I'll just go to quit. So, okay. Then we have a Pygame time delay 100, which is 100 milliseconds, which is a tenth of a second. So it checks it every tenth of a second. So why did I do it like this, and not have my event handler as the thread and my main program down here? To be honest, a while since I wrote it, so I'm gonna have to think about this. Okay, why did I do it like this? I think it's because I couldn't really do it the other way, because I couldn't make the oh, to be honest, I can't remember. I can't remember why I did it this way. I'll have to give me a few. I have to have a little think about this. Why did I do it this way? Oh, that's it. Yeah, I remember now. It's because if you have the Pygame event handler in a thread, and it comes to the end, and it actually finds the Pygame quit. So you've pressed on this X. What it'll do is you can't actually have a quit inside a thread. It won't quit the whole program. All it'll do is quit the thread. So even all that'll happen is it'll stop. The program will keep, your main program would keep running, but the event handling thread had just shut down. So you couldn't really have it that way, because it wouldn't actually shut the main program down. That's the reason why I had to do it this way. Actually, you're probably more even confused than when I started now. But yeah, I'm probably going to re-record this, or I could just put it out just to see what people think of me rambling on. Okay, we'll see. Okay, if this is the one I'm going to put out, then thank you for watching, and I hope you're less confused than you were when I started. Okay, thank you. See you again.